We ask a lot of questions about where we come from. It's a human thing to do. We dig in the dirt for bones. We map genomes. We stare at the stars. We want to know the story. And the story of us, of human evolution, is full of holes, gaps, annoying, frustrating gaps in the narrative. You could point to the fossil record, that's the classic one. For decades, people talked about the missing link. That single fossil that would perfectly connect apes and humans, a creature halfway between one and the other. We know now it doesn't really work like that. Evolution is not a straight line. It's a messy, branching bush. A new fossil discovery doesn't just fill a gap. It often shows us the bush is bigger and more complicated than we thought. It creates new questions. Think about the space between the Australopithecines, like Lucy, and the first members of our own genus, Homo. Lucy and her kind walked upright. We know that from their hips and feet, but they had small brains, ape-sized brains. They were, for millions of years, clever apes walking on two legs. Then something happened. A new character appears in the story. Homo habilis, the handyman. Their brain was bigger, they were making simple stone tools. But the fossils from this period are a mess. They're fragmented. A piece of a skull here. A jawbone there. It's a crucial chapter of our story. The one where our brains started to take off. And it's a chapter with a lot of smudged ink. We can't read it clearly. That's frustrating. It's like trying to watch a movie, but the most important scene is blurry and the sound cuts out. You know, something big happened, but you don't know exactly how or why. Or you could point to an even deeper gap. A gap that bones can't fill. The gap in the mind. When did we start thinking like we do? When did consciousness flicker on? There are no fossils for that. Language doesn't fossilize. A story told around a campfire 100,000 years ago is gone forever. As it vanished into the air, we can look at the shape of a skull and guess about the brain inside. We can find a hyoid bone in a Neanderthal throat and argue if it means they could speak like us. But we can't know what they said, we can't know if they had poetry, we see hints of it. Much later in the story, we find beads made of shells, pierced to be worn on a string. That's not about survival, that's about identity. It's about beauty, it's symbolic. It means something. We find cave paintings in France and Spain, huge, beautiful drawings of bulls and horses deep in the dark. Why? Was it religion? Was it a hunting ritual? Was it a history lesson for the kids? Was it just art for art's sake? We don't know. We can only guess. The minds of those people are a ghost in the machine. We can see the machine, the bones, and the tools they left behind. But the ghost, the consciousness that drove it all, is invisible. That's a profoundly frustrating gap. It's the difference between knowing what a person did and knowing who they were. We know our ancestors survived. We don't truly know what it was like to be them. These are huge, important gaps. They are mysteries that keep scientists up at night. But I don't think they are the most frustrating gap. The most frustrating gap isn't something ancient and buried. It's not a missing bone or a lost thought from the past. The most frustrating gap is the one we are all living in right now. Every single day. It's the gap between our ancient bodies and our modern world. It's the mismatch between the hardware we evolved with and the software of civilization we created. Our bodies and brains are the product of millions of years of evolution. The vast majority of that time was spent on the plains of Africa. We were hunter-gatherers, we lived in small groups, life was hard, food was scarce, danger was everywhere. And every part of you right now is designed to succeed in that world. Your body is a finely tuned survival machine for the Pleistocene. The problem is you don't live in the Pleistocene. You live here now. And that's where the frustration begins. Let's start with food. This is the easiest one to see. For millions of years, the biggest threat to our survival was starvation. Finding enough calories was the main job of every day. And what were the most valuable calories? The ones that gave you the most energy for the least effort. That means sugar and fat. A ripe fruit was a burst of energy. Animal fat was a treasure. Salt was a rare and essential mineral. Our brains evolved a simple, powerful system. When you eat sugar, fat, or salt, your brain releases dopamine. It feels good. It's a reward. Your brain is telling you, yes, that's the good stuff. Remember it. Find more of it. This system worked perfectly for 99.9% of human history. In a world of scarcity, a powerful craving for sugar and fat is a brilliant survival strategy. It pushes you to find the very things you need to stay alive. Now, fast forward to today. You walk into a supermarket, there are aisles and aisles of food. Not just food, but food that has been scientifically engineered to hit those evolutionary buttons as hard as possible. Candy bars, potato chips, ice cream, soda. They are pure, concentrated doses of sugar, fat, and salt. Things that never existed in nature. When you eat a donut, your Stone Age brain doesn't know it's 2024. It thinks you've just hit the biggest jackpot in hunter-gatherer history. It floods your system with pleasure chemicals. It screams, "This is amazing. We're going to live forever. Eat all of it." But you aren't a starving hunter-gatherer. You live in a world of abundance, and so that brilliant survival strategy becomes a curse. It leads to obesity, to diabetes, to heart disease. The very system designed to save you is now a primary cause of death. That is frustrating. It's the feeling of wanting something your logical mind knows is bad for you. That internal battle isn't a personal failure. It's not a lack of willpower. Well, it's a direct conflict between your ancient programming and your modern environment. It's you fighting a ghost from the past that lives inside your own head. The gap between what your body wants and what your body needs is a source of constant low-grade misery for billions of people. Now think about stress. Imagine you are walking through the tall grass a million years ago. Suddenly, you hear a rustle, you see a flash of yellow and black, a lion. Instantly, without thinking, your body explodes into action. Your adrenal glands pump out cortisol and adrenaline. Your heart rate skyrockets. Blood is diverted from your digestive system to your muscles, your pupils dilate. Your breathing becomes fast and shallow. This is the fight or flight response. It prepares you to do one of two things with incredible power and speed: fight for your life or run for your life. It's a beautiful, elegant, and brutally effective survival mechanism. If you survive the encounter, the stress hormones would fade away. You'd go back to the tribe, your heart would slow down, and you would rest. The threat was intense, but it was short. Now, come back to today. You are sitting at your desk. You get an email from your boss. The subject line is, "Urgent problem." Your body doesn't know the difference between a predator in the grass and a threatening email. It's just a threat, so it does what it's designed to do. It triggers the fight or flight response. Your heart starts pounding, your palms get sweaty, you feel a knot in your stomach. But you can't fight your boss, and you can't run away from your desk. You have to sit there and deal with it. The threat isn't a lion for 5 minutes. It's a mortgage payment for 30 years. It's a deadline next week. It's social media pressure all day long. Our modern lives are filled with these low-level chronic stressors. And so our bodies are constantly marinating in a low-grade stress response. The system that was designed to save us from a lion for a few minutes is now activated for hours every day. And it has consequences. Chronic stress contributes to anxiety disorders, to depression, to high blood pressure, to a weakened immune system. We feel constantly on edge, worried, and tired. We feel like something is always wrong, and something is. Our ancient alarm system is going off all the time, but the danger it's warning us about can't be punched or outrun. It's the ultimate frustration, a body screaming danger, in a world where the danger is an abstract concept on a screen. Let's talk about our social lives. Humans are social animals. That's our superpower. We survive because we work together. For almost all of our history, we lived in small, tight-knit tribes. The anthropologist Robin Dunbar studied the relationship between primate brain size and group size. He proposed a number for humans, around 150. That seems to be the maximum number of people we can maintain stable social relationships with. The people you know, trust, and have a history with. In a tribe of 150, you knew everyone. You knew who was a good hunter. You knew who was lazy. You knew who to trust with your children. You knew your place. Your survival depended on the group, and the group's survival depended on you. There was a deep sense of belonging and purpose. Now, look at our world. Some of us live in cities with millions of other people. We walk down the street surrounded by strangers. We might not even know our next-door neighbors. This is a completely unnatural state for a human, to be physically surrounded by people, but socially isolated. It creates a deep, gnawing loneliness, a feeling of being disconnected, or we go online. On social media, we don't have a tribe of 150, we have a network of 500 or 5,000 friends. But these aren't deep, trusting relationships. They are shallow connections. We see curated highlight reels of their lives, their perfect vacations, their successful careers. Their beautiful families, our Stone Age brain, designed for a small tribe, can't handle this. It looks at this constant stream of information and engages in social comparison. It thinks, everyone else is succeeding, everyone else is happy, I am failing. This can lead to envy, insecurity, and depression. We are the most connected generation in history, and yet we are also one of the loneliest. That is the frustrating gap. Our deep biological need for a small, stable, supportive tribe is being starved in a world of shallow, overwhelming, and often toxic hyperconnectivity. Even something as simple as sleep is part of this gap. Our bodies are tuned to the rhythm of the sun. For millions of years, when the sun went down, it got dark. Really dark. The only light was from the moon, the stars, or a fire. The darkness was the signal for our brains to produce melatonin, the hormone that makes us sleepy. We slept when it was dark. We were awake when it was light. A simple, powerful cycle. Now, we live in a world that never gets dark. We have electric lights in every room. We have street lights that blot out the stars, and worst of all, we have screens. Televisions, computers, and phones. These screens blast blue spectrum light directly into our eyeballs. Our brain interprets this blue light as daylight. So when you are scrolling on your phone in bed at 11 p.m., you are sending a very clear signal to your brain. It's the middle of the day. Stay awake. Be alert. The melatonin production gets suppressed. Your natural sleep cycle is destroyed. And so we toss and turn. We struggle to fall asleep. We wake up tired. We rely on caffeine to get through the day, which messes up our sleep even more. Insomnia and sleep disorders are rampant. It's a simple, infuriating mismatch. We have conquered the night, but we have forgotten that our bodies still need it. And what about movement? Our bodies were not designed to sit in chairs. They were designed to move. A hunter-gatherer might walk 10 miles in a day. They would run, they would climb, they would dig, they would carry things. Their bodies were strong, flexible, and capable. Physical activity was not exercise. It was just life. Like, our bodies expect this. Our muscles, bones, and cardiovascular systems are all built with the assumption that they will be used. Today, many of us sit. We sit in a car to commute to work. We sit at a desk for 8 hours. We sit on the couch to watch TV in the evening. Our environment is designed for stillness. In our bodies protest, we get back pain, our muscles weaken, our metabolism slow down. We get sick. We know we are supposed to move. So we try to fix it. We go to a gym for an hour, 3 times a week, to move our bodies on machines in a sterile room. It's a strange artificial solution to a problem that never existed for our ancestors. The frustration is feeling your body stiffen up. It's the vague, unsettling feeling that you are a caged animal. Your body wants to run across the plains, but your life requires you to sit and stare at a screen. All these things, our diet, our stress, our social lives, our sleep, our activity levels, are not separate problems. They are all symptoms of the same fundamental gap. The gap between the slow grinding pace of biological evolution and the lightning fast pace of cultural and technological evolution. Our genes are still living in the past. They contain the wisdom of 1,000,000 years of survival. But the world we've built is alien to that wisdom. We are, in a very real sense, strangers in a strange land. And we built this land ourselves. That's the real irony. Our incredible success as a species, our ability to control our environment, is the very thing that has created this deep, frustrating chasm. The fossil gaps are frustrating for scientists. The cognitive gaps are frustrating for philosophers. They are puzzles about who we were. But the mismatch gap is frustrating for everyone. It's not a puzzle. It's our lived experience. It's the anxiety in your chest. It's the craving for junk food. It's the loneliness you feel in a crowd. It's the ache in your back from sitting too long. It is the central nagging tension of modern human life. We are a walking paradox. We have the brains to compose symphonies and design spaceships, but we have the bodies that are still listening for lions in the grass. We have created a world of comfort and safety that our nervous systems often interpret as a world of constant low-level threat. We have built global networks to connect with billions, which has only made us feel more alone. We have solved the problem of scarcity, only to create the problem of abundance. This isn't a counsel of despair. It doesn't mean we should all go back to living in caves. We can't. That world is gone. But understanding this gap is the first step. It allows us to have some compassion for ourselves. When you struggle with your weight, or with anxiety, or with feeling disconnected, it's not just a personal failing. It's the weight of your own evolutionary history pressing down on you. It's the friction of an ancient machine running in a modern world. And it gives us a roadmap. It helps us understand why things like eating whole foods, spending time in nature, building a small, strong community of friends, prioritizing sleep, and just walking more can have such a profound impact on our well-being. These things aren't just healthy lifestyle choices. They are attempts to bridge the gap. They are ways of giving our Stone Age bodies a little bit of the world they understand, a little bit of the environment they were designed for. Of all the empty spaces in the long sprawling story of human evolution, this is the one that matters most. Not because it's the biggest mystery, but because it's our mystery. The other gaps are in the deep past. This one is inside of us. It is the confusing, difficult, and deeply frustrating space between who we were for millions of years and who we have become in the blink of an eye. It's the challenge of being a creature of the past, living in the future we made. And learning to navigate that gap is the great unfinished work of being human.